Breaking right now at noon, several local Catholic schools had to turn students away today over bomb threats.
Schools in 5 counties were targeted across the state of Kansas. Police say there is no credibility to any of the threats, but they still left hundreds of families in the metro shaken up.
That's right. KCTV5's Gabby Luma joins us now live from one of the schools with more on this. And Gabby, what have you learned?
Yeah, Bill, Sharon. So right now we do know that this morning, St. Agnes, which is where I'm in front of now, Prince of Peace, as well as the Holy Spirit Catholic School, they all received bomb threats this morning through voicemail. We're also learning through Leawood PD that the Nativity Catholic School also received similar threats this morning. Now, last night, the Queen of the Holy Rosary Catholic School, as well as Sacred Heart, they both received bomb threats as well. Now, all of these threats were deemed active or non-active and not credible. Now, I spoke with Olathe Police this morning after responding to the threat at Prince of Peace. One officer tells me the threats came via voicemail and they're working to find who made the threat. Roland and Overland Park PDs also posting to social media citing the threats were false. Both threats made to schools in Ottawa and Shawnee were also found to be false by their respective PDs. That totals to 5 schools in 5 counties in Kansas. The Archdiocese of Kansas City releasing a statement saying in part, quote, several Catholic schools of the Archdiocese in Johnson, Miami, Wyandotte, Shawnee, and Franklin counties received bomb threats. Each threat was taken seriously and local law enforcement was notified immediately. We recognize how unsettling this can be for our families, students, and staff. Now, the statement continues to thank law enforcement as well as school administrators and also the community for both their swift response and their patience. Now, police in all of those departments are asking anyone if they have any information to contact them immediately. Reporting live, Gabby Luma, KCTV5 News.
Yeah, scary morning for parents for sure, but
Yeah.
some clarification there. Thank you so much, Gabby.